You won't believe what just happened. Everyone's favorite, and no, not Pirate Nepo Baby Software, but this time it's Hasan. Oh wow, I support terrorism. What a cool flag you have there. What's that? That's a terrorist flag. Even better, 10 times more cooler. Piker. And what did he do? Wait, you you you're saying you think he probably made himself look retarded? No, actually, yeah, that's exactly what he did. Wow, that's actually really common, huh?
Hasan Piker is crying bias in the Ethan Klein lawsuit, both in the system at large and from law tubers like
All the judges are biased. All of the law tubers are biased. Everyone's biased against me.
myself. So we're going to get into that today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a fast facts premiere, giving you the hot and dirty business in a shorter version, a packed version. If you've been liking these, let me know below. A lot of you guys are new to the channel as well, so welcome, and I hope you love the coverage. My goal is to be objective, entertaining, and give you education about the
Same.
law. So that's what we focus.
I may not be a judge, I may not be an attorney, but I am the most objective person that has ever walked this earth. I literally don't care. I'm always going to be objective about anything.
On here. But today we have claims from Hasan that indeed the system and also the lawyers covering it, like myself, are not being objective. So I want to get into some of his arguments here today, both of those. And we, of course, have clips to back that up. So let's get into the first one here, where he is talking about the
Ooh.
lawsuits more at large in the system. Let's hear what Hasan has to say.
All this while snark subreddits and similar harassment just caused another creator to commit suicide. Yeah, I heard
Oh
about that. The Fox
no!
Sanctuary woman. It's so sad.
Wait, Fox Sanctuary? That actually does sound sad. What? Wait. I'm confused now.
I don't know if, and I don't know what the implication here is, whether he's trying to imply that something might happen, but let's continue here.
Yeah, I mean, because, the Billy Mitchell's lawsuit against Coddle Jobs for the same sentence, pretty much, probably didn't teach Hasan anything. But why would you ever learn?
There's a lot of dead air.
The legal complaints are in California for Denims and Frogan.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
So this is another point which I think is very interesting is, a lot of people can comment on stuff, but I'm not sure whether he doesn't understand what a legal complaint is, or he doesn't understand how lawsuits work. I'm not really sure what he doesn't understand, but it's always very interesting when people decide to comment deeply on stuff that they really have no idea what's going on.
So what he doesn't understand here, and I'm not American, but since I'm not American, that makes me smarter than the average American. When you get sued in America, you can't just get sued in a random state or county or whatever. You need to be sued into the place that actually has jurisdiction over the stuff that went wrong. And in this case, it seemingly is like where they live.
Yeah, call it for what it is. He's abusing the legal system the way stalkers do. No, that's precisely what he's
Stalkers
doing.
do.
But in this circumstance, because the legal system is fucking busted, because the legal system is fundamentally broken, if you have a lot of money, you can do this kind of thing. When you're depraved and you're manic and you're an insane person and you don't care about like wasting unlimited funds, especially considering that he does technically have.
I mean, it's true. He said he does not care about wasting the money. He just wants to sue him and destroy them. It happens. This is why you usually kind of are careful about challenging people with a lot of money, because exactly this kind of stuff can happen. Ask literally any whistleblower against a bank how their life has been. The record is a woman who. The record of that, by the way, if you're wondering, is a woman who whistle blew on a bank like 20 years ago, and still to this day, that bank is suing her more than 10 times a year just to try and destroy her life. Because, money. That's how money works.
Virtually unlimited funds. You can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there. So, pseudo intellectuals like Hasan like to use big words that they don't understand. The word vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits. That is, it's not just that. A
Oh,
vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit, meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed, meaning these are lawsuits with no legal basis. And what you never hear from Hasan is you never hear him talking anything at all about the legal basis. Now, if he wants to argue that the system is broken, that's fine. And in fact, even myself and other law tubers
by the way, the black guy who he said he sues, he said that he's not gonna actually sue.
have admitted that yes, parties with a lot of money tend to do better in court. That is very much true. And we've admitted that and talked about that. And I've been a critic of that when it comes to certain cases like with Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Corporation. That can be a problem. But throwing out words like vexatious litigant kind of goes against the rub here because you have to admit that it has merit if you can come.
Hassan literally doesn't know anything he's talking about. He's supposed to be a political pundit or some shit like that, yet he doesn't. He can't even point to the map where the stuff that he's talking about is. And you think you should know these things, right? But Hassan doesn't see any value in that.
Up with no legal argument against the case, not an emotional argument, not a claim of bias, not any other claim. You have to tell me, Hassan Piker, why legally they will win. Your orbiters will win, and Ethan Klein will lose. Otherwise, it is a meritorious claim. That's a big word you can use now.
No, I
Meritorious,
haven't
Hassan.
heard that one.
So these are meritorious complaints, which are going to get past a motion to dismiss, which is just to explain for you, for Hasan and for everybody out there, that's the first step. Now, that does not mean Ethan Klein will ultimately prevail. Ethan Klein may very well lose this case. Now, we've said, hey, doesn't look good for Hasan's orbiters. It's looking kind of bad for Hasan's orbiters. I think, in all fairness, the odds are on Ethan here, but they're never 100%. There's always a chance that your orbiters can prevail, whether individually in individual cases or separately. Maybe one of them prevails and the others don't, or maybe all of them prevail. It's possible. It's not 0% chance. Ethan is not 100% going to win, but the odds are in his favor. And that's all we've been saying kind of at large, which is very interesting here. But we'll let him talk a little bit more.
And it's like having a mentally ill stalker who has an unlimited amount of money and power.
I can't. Every time I hear Hassan say mentally ill and referring to someone but himself, I instantaneously kind of want to laugh a little bit because, I mean, that's just comedy gold.
And not only does he have an unlimited amount of money and power, he also makes content off of this. So it turns into more money for him down the line.
Holy shit. Wow.
That's it.
Wow. I mean, is that actually supposed to be like an argument? Doesn't shit that oh no, he's making money by doing something. He should not be making money by doing anything. You should be probably donating to their legal funds though, but you're not.
That's what it is. And given the way that our legal system works, given the way that our court system works, given the way that copyright works, there's really nothing you can do about it.
He's just naming things, but he has no idea how any of them work.
Other than
So hold on. So hold on. Hasan himself now. Hasan himself has just admitted that his orbiters are going to lose. So he's actually admitting, he's saying that's the way copyright works. That's the way copyright works. So
Yeah, this is why he probably doesn't really want to donate money to their legal funds because he most likely understands that they're fucked. They're most likely completely effed, so why would he donate money to that? It's not like he's ever getting it back. So why? Why even bother?
he's conceding that legally they're screwed, which means, once again, Hasan is saying it's a meritorious claim. It's not vexatious, Hasan. We're going to teach you big words, so you can use them in the right way. I want you to use them right, Hasan. Let's continue here.
Hope that it goes away eventually, just like cyber stalkers. we do not have an adequate measure against cyber stalking and just like stalking in general. We don't have
Let's stop.
Oh god, these people, whenever they say the terms like cyber stalking, bullying, or any of that shit, first of all, it's okay if they do it. It's not okay if you do it. That's the difference. That's the big difference, right? And the second thing about that is he has no idea what he's talking about, obviously, yet again. Okay? He should have called Pirate Software and be like, bro, explain why I'm right and everyone else is wrong. And then Pirate Software would open paint, probably paint two rectangles or something, and say two sentences and be like, yeah, I'm Pirate Software. I'm right.
Stop right there, and we're going to stop this clip right there. So there are cyber stalking laws. In fact, many states have cyber stalking laws. Now, you can argue they're not robust enough, but to say they don't exist or they're non-existent, that's not true. They are indeed existent. Now, they may not be as intense as Hasan wants them to be, but if you go
Yeah,
too
that's a you
far with
problem.
cyber stalking statutes, they can silence free speech, and they would be a violation of free speech protections. So if you went too far, you're going to push against that. So that's the balance.
Well, to be fair, it's not like Hassan cares about free speech. He's pretty much opposite against free speech. He probably kind of doesn't like it in general. So, yeah.
Here, Hasan. Now, I think Hasan seemed like he leans on the side of silencing free speech, right? And on the side of making cyberstalking really high, but that's a delicate balance. That's a very delicate balance. So that goes to the systemic arguments that Hasan made. But Hasan didn't stop there. And he made these comments, and Nicholas DeOrio, who actually had an amazing stream, I popped into that one, had some comments
Who is Nicholas
about
DeOrio again?
Hasan's thoughts about LawTube, because he's talking about the LawTubers and our coverage. And LawTubers, the general LawTube sphere, people like myself, Ian Runkle, Uncivil Law, a lot of us have commented on this, and pretty much all of us have said, yeah, the claims look like they have a prima facie basis. They look like they're going to get past the motion to dismiss. They're going to get the discovery, right? That's as far as we can say, okay, looks pretty good on that. But none of us have said, hey, Ethan is 100% going to win. It's a shoe. And none of us have come out and said we're pro Ethan Klein. As I've said before, I could care less about Ethan Klein, and I could care less about the orbiters. I care about the law. But let's hear what Ethan has. Let's hear what Hasan has to say about the lawsuit and our coverage.
it's legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet. No, I think there's some legal YouTubers who have covered it, but they're like pro Ethan.
No, they're just telling you the fucking facts of the case. What are you saying? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. They're compromised, dude. They're pro Ethan.
To cover this would mean
Dude, the lawyers are all
talking
compromised.
on Israel Palestine, which they are not. It's legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet.
So this is great. I let Nick's comments just go to it. We are just commenting on the facts. We're commenting on the law, right? If you want to say the law is pro Ethan, all that says that means his side has more legal basis. And I would love to have more legal commentary and have somebody to, spar with and intellectually debate with the.
Yeah, do you think this is going to get streamed? If this got streamed, this would be absolutely amazing. But anyway, let's hope Hassan is fucked. That was Legal Mindset. 10 out of 10. Bye.